yeah, we did The Thing from Another World. But first of all, let me talk about The Grey real quick, just as a quick little rundown before we ever do a movie on it. I know it's not technically a horror movie, but I feel like some of these survival movies like fit right into that category where, you know, you get in a plane crash and you're stuck in the fucking, you know, Alaska wilderness. That's fucking horrific to me. Anyway, The Grey, it's right up there as far as I'm concerned with one of Liam Neeson's best movies. Like, I know that covers a lot of ground, but Liam Neeson's a badass in this movie, and it's not just like corny badass. It's a good story. It's like powerful, and it's worth a watch if you haven't seen it. It's really fucking good.
I haven't
mentioned,
seen it. I want to see it.
You should, dude. It's the one with the wolves. And,
and his face is up close on the box, and he's all fucked up looking. Yeah.
Well, Roger Ebert talks about this movie, and he said that he watched it at the theater, and and then he was going to screen the next movie that was coming out, you know, and he sat 30 minutes into it, and he had to leave because he couldn't stop thinking about The Grey, and he wanted to give it, you know, the credit it deserves. So obviously he gave this movie a thumbs up. So anyway, if you get the chance, watch The Grey. It's definitely worth your time, and again, Liam Neeson's fucking awesome in it. It might be my favorite movie of his. It's like right there with Taken, a little less corny. Anyway, so check out The Grey. Definitely a good winter survival movie, whatever. Okay, so along those same lines, right? Okay, so you guys have heard of Alive, right? Blake, you've probably seen it, in fact. Vic, you may have seen it. I don't know.
What is it?
Alive. Just A-L-I-V-E. Alive. From 1993. All right, so it's a well-known story, okay? It's about the Uruguayan rugby team that was stranded in the snow-swept Andes after a plane crash, and this is when they start resorting to cannibalism. It's a true story. Frank Marshall directed it. Ethan Hawke was in it.
Okay, I probably did see it.
Obviously, it's kind of a winter survival movie as well. This movie got a lot of awards and a lot of praise, but, you know, I don't think it stood the test of time very well, because I don't know that I had ever seen it, and I still haven't finished the movie. I'm going to finish it, but I don't know, man. Maybe it's because, all right, this is going to sound bad, okay? Maybe it's because most of the people were a different nationality that I couldn't really connect with them on the same level as, like, The Grey. Like, you know what I'm saying? Okay, like in The Grey, these people, they're American, they speak English. These people have accents and stuff, and I just can't really, I don't know, get with it the same way in Alive. And I know it was a true story, but for 1993, like, the plane crash looked so fucking green screened, and, like, it just took me out of it. So I'm going to finish up Alive, but, you know, I'm just surprised at how much I don't love it like I expected to. It gets a 7.0 on IMDb, or 7.1 on IMDb, and again, at the time, I mean, it was really heralded as just like a shocking movie, but, you know, if you're watching it 24 years later and you never saw it in the first place, it didn't do as much for you.
Some movies don't age well, man. Some movies just
this
don't.
This was one of them.
Some movies just, you know, like you guys say about the movies, it doesn't resonate the same way. It doesn't hold up, to paraphrase you guys, and Jer, he used that phrase a lot about movies. But some of those movies just don't. I mean, I've gone back and, man, people have been giving a lot of shit to Freddy's Dead. You know, I've noticed a lot lately. And, you know, I go back and see it. Yeah, it's meant to be kind of funny because of what it is. You know, it's a good farewell to the character. But there are some very corny moments in that don't age well. Like the Power Glove thing. I remember those with Nintendo and stuff, and some of those things don't hold up today. But like Jumanji, you know, I don't know how to feel about that. I haven't seen the new Jumanji, but I read the book, you know, and saw the original film, and I just don't know. It changed the whole fucking concept of it. I know, to make it an easier sell and to kind of get a younger generation into it, but that's a different story altogether, I guess.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, and Vic and I talked about this once upon a time. It's been a while. There is a a thing where, okay, we went and saw Halloween with my wife and a friend's wife, and neither one of them had ever seen it. They never saw it as kids, and we're talking about the original Halloween, and neither one of them gave two shits about the movie because they didn't grow up with it like we did. Now, we could give them shit, and they probably deserve it, but at the same time, you got to think about it. When you see a movie that's almost 40 years old at the time, and you didn't grow up on it, you don't have the same affection, it doesn't have the same effect on you, you know? And I feel like, you know, it's not so much that it didn't age well as some things we grow up with and we just attach to, and it becomes great, 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 but if you don't grow up with it, it's not as good. I don't know. I can't explain it. Like, my wife tried to get me to, like, watch Dark Crystal, which I never watched as a kid, and I watched it, and I thought it was stupid.
I'll tell you one. Back in the old MySpace days, I know you guys remember MySpace. I'm certainly showing my age. When I started my music career, I met a couple of the original Power Rangers, one of whom is a musician and the other of whom is not, but is a fan of music and likes to work out and, you know, stuff to the music. And I grew up with those people. And grew up with the Power Rangers and really liked it, and, you know, stayed connected with them. And then years later, all of a sudden, there's this big news about a new Power Ranger movie, and I was like, okay, whatever. So, but then my wife rents it for my kids, and I sit through it. I have to cut it off halfway through because they're saying bitch and whore and all kind of shit in this movie, and it's a Power Ranger movie. And then they turn, and I have no problem with any person making a choice, but they made one of the characters, I think it was supposed to be the Yellow Ranger. They changed her, made her like totally a bad, like just bully type, and they changed everything around and they made Zordon a total fucking asshole. He's trying to use the Red Ranger's corporeal body to give himself a body back, because he was the original Red Ranger, and his partner, the Green Ranger, was Rita Repulsa, and she jumped ship and became a fucking turncoat and sold the team out and got them all killed. And that's why he, you know, went to Eltar and became, you know, the, I guess, mage-like face in this floating fucking wall, which is not a tube like it was in the show. It's almost like those things that you buy where you can put your hand in it, and it makes a thing of your hand, like those little sticks, you know what I'm talking about? It's like a little kid's toy. You put your hand in it, and
they always reminded me of the wizard from Wizard of Oz.
yeah, but like you stick your face or your hand in it, and it makes it the perfect negative of that feat of what you put in it, in like, because it blocks off the certain parts of the sticks. It's like a 3D effect. That's what they did to it.
Right.
And I couldn't fucking stand it. I was like, fuck this movie. But then I finished it, and at the very end, the two Rangers I spoke of before make cameo appearances at the end of it, and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe they did this to this movie. Like, I just was so blown away and shocked, and my kids didn't really like it. Obviously, I had to cut through and cut off a bunch of stuff so they couldn't see and hear the language. They're a fan of like the originals and stuff, but I just can't believe that's on that same topic you guys are talking about. I was like, what have they done to this?
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen it, you should watch it. If you watch the original Power Rangers, just so you can be like, what in the hell am I watching?
See, you know, I watched the original Power Rangers, but I was of the age where I was a little bit old for Power Rangers, so I didn't enjoy it. I wasn't a fan of it. My cousin liked it, and I never really got into it. I mean, I'm not saying I never watched it. I knew who the people were and everything. It just wasn't my thing. Like Ninja Turtles were my thing. G.I. Joe, He-Man, barely because I was pretty young during that time. But Power Rangers was right when I was getting out of that type of thing, you know. Yeah, I don't know if I'll ever check it out. I didn't like the new Ninja Turtles movie either. I know Vic liked it, and he hated the originals. So
I didn't
the original movie.
The originals were garbage.
Yeah, I probably would hate it now, Vic, but as a kid, I loved it.
I hated it as a kid. I just so
You're
mad.
an angry man.
I guess. I don't know.
You got a friend who likes women that are old and decrepit.
And he also likes Power Rangers, so what are you going to do?
That's Corey. That's Corey, by the way. He likes women that are old and decrepit, and possibly mongoloids. True story.
Well, he even admits
to it. He even admits to it.
To be fair.
Poor Corey. All you do is talk shit about that guy. I never see him. I never get to hear from him. I heard from him once when we were doing that commentary for The Evil Dead 2. That's the only time I ever heard.
We did that on a Saturday. Corey's works at GE during the week, so he's too good to talk to us. He'll only talk to us like late at night or during the day. But he doesn't say much of anything but yes, LOL. What? That's messed up.
Damn.
Cool.
Corey, he just has a set vocabulary, and that's what he uses.
Yeah. And he's very racist, so we don't like taking him out in public.
He is. He hates white people. He won't admit to it, but he does. He definitely hates gingers. We know that. He's admitted to that.
Yeah, he admits to that. Yeah.
He hates Africans.
Is he really a racist? Is that true?
As far as we're concerned,
Damn.
he will never fess up to it, but I swear he is.
Well, I mean, he hangs out with you two. I mean, damn.
I know.
Yeah, well, I'm black as
Yeah, Vic is black as night. He's the blackest man I've ever met.
True story.
Vic, are you watching South Carolina men's basketball? That's what you should be doing. That's what I did.
I am. I haven't checked into it, but I am.
So anyway, okay, so those are the movies I've watched, and I'm glad we got into a little discussion about it live, because one of these days I actually want to do a show on it. I don't know when. Who knows? Maybe we could do it in February, but I don't know. I just wanted to throw that out there. What'd you say?
I said I watched Eating Alive. Does that count?
Did you watch it this past
Toby
week?
Hooper's Eating Alive.
Yeah, I watched that.
Did you watch it this past week?
Yes, sir.
It's got Marilyn Burns in it.
Yeah.
It's got Marilyn Burns and Ella Brand and Robert Englund, and it's just a great cast, man. And great movie.
It used to be on Netflix. I don't think it is anymore.
It's not, unfortunately. Neither is Toby Hooper's Night Terrors. I want to see that because Robert Englund plays the Marquis de Sade, which that just is appealing to me.
Yeah, don't think I've ever seen that.
Blake, did you have you watched anything other than Starry Eyes?
Yes. I watched a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff I watched is I watched it later. You guys probably watched it sooner. Like, I really liked 31.
31.
Yeah.
Well, is that the poker
Rob
movie?
Zombie 31?
No,
Rob Zombie.
Rob Zombie.
I'm stupid.
Rob Zombie.
I'm stupid. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think of 31? This is the one that we've kind of kicked around on the show before. Most people said that it was the worst Rob Zombie movie ever, which we totally disagree with, because that's fucking Lords of Salem.
I think that the worst Rob Zombie movie that I've ever seen is probably, and I'm going to get shit for this, is Lords of Salem.
Yes, no, it is the worst. Fuck that. It's the worst movie I've ever seen. Not just the worst Rob Zombie movie.
Yeah, that movie was terrible. But I really liked the characters. I liked the story. He has a certain group of people that he features a lot in his movies, like Ken Foree and Malcolm McDowell,
dude from Walking
Moon
Dead,
Zombie, and dude from Walking Dead, and then this guy. Yeah, it was good. It was gory. It was it was everything that I hoped it would be, and it was everything that I prayed it would be after seeing Lords of Salem.
Dude, it was really good. Like okay, I won't say really good. It was good, and it was worth a watch. And people acted like it was a piece of shit. And I don't understand what the issue is. It's like, this is what Rob Zombie does. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it is. That's what he does. He's shock value. There's the body horror. There's slasher stuff. He's a horror guy. That's his milieu. That's his niche. That's his area, man. And I liked it. I thought it was good. And a lot of the other stuff I've watched is probably stuff that you guys have already seen, or stuff like that. There's some things that I have seen that you may not have seen. I don't know if you consider it a horror or not, but I did watch Resident Evil, the final chapter. Finally got to see that.
I wouldn't watch that.
Well,
I gave up
watched
on Resident
it just
Evil
because I watched all the other ones. So I was like, why the fuck not? I mean, it was okay.
I'm lying. Vic, remember when I didn't watch the last one. Remember when I marathoned the fucking Resident Evil